Okie dokie. Should be live here now. Oh yeah, there we are. Perfect. Hey guys, I'm Paulsaltine back once again. We're going to be playing Wonder Boy in Monster World on the Genesis. This absolute freaking gem of a speedrun. We're going to take this one very, very safe because this is incredibly scary. This game and run is very tough. But Grim, if you're ready, I'm going to give a countdown for the timer. A countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. First things first, before I forget, I see all of you in chat. I do have chat open, but I did see a first-time chat from Cantaloupe Me there, and I would like to say, my guy, Nightmare on Elm Street was one of my first speedruns on the NES, and I watched all of your your runs on the leaderboard about 500 times. So thank you very much. All right, so what are we doing here in Monster World? Number one, kind of like what Booster said earlier, maybe this place wouldn't be so dangerous if they didn't call it Monster World. First thing you're going to notice, we're moving very slowly. And this is the game's way of telling you that you need to upgrade your equipment and armor. So that's what we're going to do right here. We're going to initially grind for just 30 gold to be able to get the first boot upgrade. It is kind of random what these enemies drop gold-wise. We're hoping for big drops, but of course we're just getting a couple of ones here. Ooh, okay, that's good. We'll get into the regional differences between this and the Japanese version of the game as we progress along. Reasons as to why you might want to run one over the other. So, we got enough money for a leather boot upgrade, and you'll notice now we are moving just slightly faster, which is great. Look at that, I mentioned NES, and JKL comes out of the shadows. That's wild. Alright. So, we're just gonna make our way towards the first village here now. Not anything too crazy. I'm gonna watch out for these enemies. Enemies have very erratic movement patterns in this game, so it is very easy to accidentally get hit when we're not looking to get hit. So I will usually err on the side of caution when it comes to getting ready to attack these enemies, because you really don't know what it is that they're gonna do. Sometimes they'll give you a little bit of a warning that they're gonna change direction, and they'll stop in their movement and kind of think. Other times they'll just do it out of thin air, which is, I have no idea where that gold came from. Okay. Very strange, gold falling from the sky. If that monkey gives you a better pattern, you can sometimes just jump right over it. Gave us a bad pattern there. And we're just gonna get out of here. Little jellyfish puzzle there. You've got to kind of just time your jump up perfectly to be able to make it across. And we've come into town to find that it has been overrun by mushrooms. We're gonna go up to the sky and speak to Queen Eleonora. She's gonna tell us that the monsters came from the cave to the east of the village. She's gonna give us a sidekick, Priscilla, here to help us out on our journey. The game gives us a lot of sidekicks. They are literally all useless. They're going to help us in no way, shape, or form. We need to speak to the individual in that house there. She's going to inform us that she has lost her ocarina, and that she would like it back. And that's going to spawn an ocarina in the next dungeon. If you don't speak to her, the ocarina will not show up. So we do actually have to go in there and say hello. Just trying to not take damage. Oh, that is a bad place for you to be. Okay, and then there's the ocarina down there. Now, casually, if you're playing this game, you would probably take this ocarina back to the house, and in return, she would give you the ocarina songs to open the doors. We're just gonna play them here because we know them. And by playing each song correctly, we are going to be able to go through each subsequent door. Second one is ABC, BCAB. Oh, bad jump, bad jump. Taking a little bit of damage here is fine because we're going to get some health right before the boss fight. We're going to get our first heart container there. One big difference between some of these speedruns. In some of the Wonder Boy games, you don't collect all the heart containers. In this one, we're going to collect a bunch of them because this game is just too hard to do it without. Now, here comes the first boss fight. Mike and it was actually not a very safe early boss fight. But he gives us a very good pattern there. That boss can do a bunch of really nasty things, including throwing enemies out at you. You do start the game with an elixir. We got it when we went to the first hut in town. So you can waste your elixir there if you absolutely have to, but we prefer to hold on to it. That way we don't have to go out of our way to get another elixir in the next section. If you're worried about money, there's a little bit of hidden money right over here. We're just going to grab it anyway because we're going to be abusing the inns in this speedrun. Normally you don't stay at every inn, but because I'm very scared of dying in this run, I want to be able to finish. So we're going to stay and save at a bunch of inns in case we do actually die during the run. We can just spawn right back in at the last inn that we saved at. So we're going to collect a little bit more money than we normally would just to be able to finance our trips to the inn. Inn is not the most expensive place in the world. We're going to start utilizing our magic here, and the fire magic is very, very, very bad. We cast it and just kind of hope. Oh god, that hurt. We kind of just cast it and hope that it hits. It can oftentimes just circle around enemies instead of actually targeting and hitting them. Which makes it very, very, very annoying. Like right there, look at that. Like actually, like help me out, bro. Please. Taking this part just a little slowly. I'm really trying to avoid taking too much damage. And up next we have a little bit of like a mini boss fight with the knight. All I'm really gonna do here is just see what he does first, and he jumps. Then I'm kind of just gonna stun lock him in the corner. And he's out of there. Okay, we're gonna be told to come to the castle hall now that we've freed the princess. You might try to go to that door right there, but that door is going to be locked. Instead, we got to go up this huge flight of stairs. Come up here, and to speak to this person here is just going to tell us that the gate to the castle's open. And now the gate is unlocked, and we can actually go in. One thing you'll notice about this game, a reason why you might really like it, unlike a lot of Sega games, it's very bright and colorful. not a lot of... Oh, don't jump there. Not a lot of Sega games are sounding like this. You could confuse this for a Super Nintendo game, I think. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to stay at the inn. We're going to save, and we're going to continue in the morning. So if we were to die now, we could load back into the game, and we'll just come here. It's very TurboGrafx 16, yes. There's actually, there is a version of this game on the TurboGrafx 16. Okay, so we're gonna get a sword upgrade. We're gonna do a little bit more shopping. We're going to get off that ladder, please and thank you. We're gonna come down here to the shop. We're gonna buy our next boot upgrade, the ladder boots. I like to call these the Speedrunner boots, and we'll see very why very shortly. And we're gonna buy a safety potion. We do not need the ocarina anymore. And we are on to the next section. So at this point now, because we've neglected buying a bunch of upgrades, we are already pretty underpowered. And that's going to become very evident very shortly. There's going to be some very tough enemies coming up that can... they can't one-shot us, but they can like two-shot us. So we're going to be mindful. These ghosts can also do a fair amount of damage as well, so I'm trying not to get too close to them. Heart drops are always nice. And we're just going to use fire magic here, if it'll work, to take out these spiders. That one did not want to work. This section here is a lot less annoying in the Genesis version compared to the Master System version, which Patak will be showing you after this. So we're talking to, yeah, I would like to shout out the French Restream once again. I'd like to also thank my girlfriend who is currently napping, but I've got her to do a couple of French translations for me since yesterday. Oops. Forgot to save. Because I do not speak French, but she is bilingual. Okay, so we didn't speak to anybody in this village, but there's a missing kid that we've got to save. These enemies here, oh Jesus. Bro. Are the ones that can basically two-shot us. They're very unpredictable. They'll either throw a hammer or they'll like jump into you. Oh my god, that was so close to actually like being in trouble there. So here's a dwarf child being roasted at the stake here. Fairly simple fight, and then we're out of here. And now we're just going to abuse our fire magic on the way back. And hope that all of the spells actually hit. It is possible to not actually kill enemies with the complete cast of the fire spell. I do not know what causes it. Even if all fireballs hit, yeah, like right there, sometimes it just does not kill enemies. Because that was scary enough, we're going to sleep at the inn again. Oh, I said no to Said no to starting again, so that's fine. It's faster to mash the B button through text, but the B button is also the no button. As long as you don't press new game there, you're safe. So we're going to bring our friend along here. He's going to open up the door for us. This guy's shtick is that he can find hidden money for you in the stage. The annoying thing about that is that by him finding money, he actually drops the frame rate of the game. So it can actually be like kind of risky. If you're trying to make a jump and then all of a sudden he tanks your frame rate, you could just fall down a hole. We're going to go on a little tiny bit of a detour. You wouldn't normally do this in a high-level speedrun of this game, but we're going to come over here about a minute out of the way to get another heart container. And you can see the advantage of the ladder boots there now. We are just zooming up that ladder. Oh, full heart health. Okay, we're good. We have the potion here just in case things go awry. But, oh yeah, there he goes. He's digging out money. Okay, but we don't need your money, seriously. Oh yeah, yep. Look at that. Bro, get over here. I need you to beat open this wall. Oh, Jesus. I see you there, oops. Arnaud. Thanks for the good luck. All right, so we can continue on our way here. These little enemies here, these little skeletons, I like to call them Little Sands. You know, in homage to the all-time great Undertale character. And why I call them Little Sands is because there is a regular Sands equivalent. Who needs FPS? You have a good point, actually. Just a quick item check for me. Okay, we still have that elixir. If we didn't have the elixir, if we used it during the Myconid fight, there is one that you can get in this room. Dude, give it up with the money. You're killing me, man. There's big sands getting in the way down there. Okay, now that we're leaving this room, this elixir that we have, we are not allowed to use it. If we accidentally use it, our run is dead. Because we're actually going to need it for a skip coming up. A little bit later in the run. Getting close to the boss fight for this dungeon. Grag and Glag. We've just got a little bit of a puzzle in this room here. We've got to hit these switches in the right order, and the order is 2, 3, 1, 4. You do not want to fall down this hole here. It'll bring you back into the previous room. And I'm actually just going to pop my potion here because this boss fight can be a little trolly. Grag and Glag. We're going to take out one head at a time. We're going to try to set them up so that they're in a pretty good pattern with spitting the rocks in and out. Okay, good first phase. We're going to die. We are going to be in a lot of trouble. How do I want to attack this? I think we're pretty close to just killing him anyway. Oh, we weren't close. Okay. We are, unfortunately, now that we don't have that elixir, we actually need to... yeah, I'm gonna have to reset the game here. This is why we save. And this is why we give a very, very, very liberal estimate. Sorry, I think it's probably a conservative estimate for this game, because things like that can go wrong. It's fine, we'll just do this section again. This is okay. There's really no path forward without that elixir. So we literally need it. Because what's supposed to happen later on in the run. We're going to be crossing a desert, and normally you need what they call the oasis boots to cross the desert. Otherwise, if you're not wearing the oasis boots, you're just going to take continual damage until you die. So what we end up doing, we buy a potion, and then along with the elixir, we just damage boost across the entire desert until we make it to the next dungeon. Okay. Since we're already behind their little bro there, don't go picking coins out of the wall, please. We actually now need our frames to just try and not get too far behind on time. It's a good time to point out that there's a pretty good soundtrack in this game too. It may not be as good as Dragon Trap that Booster was playing earlier, but it's pretty good in its own right. I don't particularly like the song in this dungeon, but there are some bangers in this game. There really are. Okay, item checks. Okay, so we got the elixir. If Little Sans could drop a heart, I'd be really happy. We're gonna get a second chance for him to do that. Nobody wants to drop a heart, huh? That's fine. Health situation is not horrible. Oh, we accidentally fell down? Ooh. I don't actually remember if you've got to do the full puzzle over again. It doesn't take much time, so... we may as well, yeah, just do it again. 2, 3... 1... 4. We'll hold on to the potion. And then use it mid-boss fight if we have to. Keep the pattern up. Oh, his pattern is all screwed up, man. Get back on pattern. Yes. Oh, there we go. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's too hard. All right, let's get out of here. Yeah, all right. The only thing we got left to do here is we got to come back. We're going to get another boot upgrade. It's going to be the... I believe these are the marine boots. Yes, they are. Cost 300 gold. Yes. And then we'll replenish our potion that we just used. Thank you very much. Marine boots and item potion. And we are out of here. Thanks for the GGs there, chill. This game is pretty unforgiving. We are going to get a bit of a break here now. Switch into my ladder boots for the ladder. So we're going to go on a little bit of a fetch quest here now. There is an item set in this game called the Pygmy set. And we need to collect all 4 items in that set to be able to progress through to the end game. So we're going to collect some of those item pieces right now, and we're going to get a few more heart containers. Because we have the trident as a weapon now, and this is the weapon we're going to be using for pretty much the rest of the game, the trident also allows you to sink in water as opposed to swim, so we're able to reach the underwater portion of the game. Perfect. And hidden up here is our first pygmy item. So we're just going to grab that along the way. Let's move these crabs out. There's the pygmy sword. Unable to equip it right now. It just has to sit in our inventory and we can admire it from afar. Come down here and we're going to pick up a magic, new magic. It is the thunder magic. This is going to be pretty useful in many parts of the run. Thunder magic, unlike the fire magic, actually works for the most part. Get out of here, crab. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about, the trolley enemy movements. I was literally trying to wait for him to get out of my way, and then he just doubled back in on me. I mean, health-wise, we should be fine. This section here is not too difficult. And these monkeys can oftentimes drop hearts. That one decided it didn't want to, though. So there is an entire, like, underwater dungeon with a pseudo boss fight in it. And at the end of that dungeon is when we would, if you're playing it casually, normally get the oasis boots that let you cross the desert. What we're going to do is we're going to grab the amulet back there, and so what that does is allows us to get access to the dungeon down here, but we're only going to come in here to get a heart container and a new set of magic, the return magic. Return magic is very powerful in the speedrun. It's going to let us, at any point, return to the last inn we were at. Okay, the true final boss is hitting this switch. There we go. That can be problematic. You're getting pushed all over the place. So we're trying to just hit the switch that deactivates some of these wind turbines or whatever. Excuse me? Please die, sir. Thank you. Okay, we've got the heart container. Come over here for the return magic. We gotta deactivate one more switch. If we can reach it. Why are we having so much trouble with the switches today? Of all things. There we go. The switches are not even close to being the hardest thing in this game, so let's try to not struggle too much with that. And here is our return magic. We will go back to our inn. We're gonna save. And we will continue in the morning. Excellent. Fetch quest is not over yet, though. We are going to get another heart container and another piece of the pygmy armor set. But while we're back here in town and we have 400 gold, we are going to actually buy an armor upgrade. The only armor upgrade we're going to get until the end of the game. It is the hard armor. Hard armor. May as well set our magic, because we are going to use a return magic once again. And we will make our way. Way better than soft armor. I believe the world record run for this actually skips the hard armor. Which is like, you're only saving a little bit of time, but you are really risking a lot. I guess if that's the time save you gotta save, is you gotta do what you gotta do. Not where I belong. The underwater parts can get a little mazy. Alright, so that chest right there, that is where we need to go. That is our next piece of the pygmy armor set. We will start using our thunder magic now. You can see it actually works, unlike the fire spell, which is great. It will kill pretty much every enemy on screen. There it is, the pygmy armor. So now we have 2 of the 4 items that we need to make it to the end game. And then the last thing we are fishing for is a heart container. So we are basically hoarding the heart containers. And back to the inn. All right. Save, and we'll continue. All right, so the reason why we reset earlier is because we accidentally used an elixir. Now it is time for us to actually put that elixir to use. First of all, we make sure it's actually in our inventory. Okay. Because we do not have the Oasis Boots, because we skipped the Oasis Boots, we are going to cross the desert and take damage while doing so. Between the elixir and a potion, we have about enough health to get us through to this and the dungeon. Elixir is life. So it doesn't matter which order you do these in. I typically will pop the potion right as I make that jump there. First, we gotta take a little detour down this hole here to get the key to be able to open up the door to the dungeon. All the way down here. We are going to collect 3 keys between here and while being in the pyramid dungeon. First one, the sun key, allows us to get initial access. For him to shoot his shot, and then we get out of here. If I were slightly better at the game, I would switch into my ladder boots to make this part a little bit faster, but I want to preserve as much of my health as possible. The elixir kicks in there. Believe it or not, elixir is not actually a full health fill in this game. And we are in the dungeon. We are in the pyramid dungeon. Green boots, and we will get our magic ready. We need the thunder and the fire spell. Really gotta watch out for these ghosts. They will just sit in your hitbox and just melt you away. So I'm trying to kill them from afar, but even the fire magic does not sometimes kill them in one shot. We're gonna come over here, we're gonna get an elixir, and you're gonna say, oh, great, Paul. You have safety now. We actually need that elixir to do the exact same thing that we did to get to this dungeon, to get out of it. So we're gonna need the damage boost through more desert. I was gonna say, you gotta be careful with these guys. If they're alive for too long, they'll just explode into like knives. So you really don't want to keep them on screen very long. Little secret up here. Go into that door there that's hidden. You're gonna get one of every magic in the game, which is very helpful because now we have the quake magic that we are going to use quite a bit, including in this room right here. That guy's just going to explode, so we don't even have to worry about quake magic there. And we are in here, just lightning these guys. They will die. They usually drop good money. Yep. And beyond this door is the boss fight. And surprise! It is not a battle of strength. It is a battle of knowledge. We're going to do a quiz about things we've learned so far in the game. So you're going to ask us 5 questions. We're going to strategically only guess 4 right. If you guess 5 right, there's extra text. But if you guess 4 right, you still make it through here. Here's the first question. Which key do you need to enter the pyramid? It is the sun key. Second question, what item helped us to traverse the desert? It's the Oasis boost, but really it was the elixir. It's the name of the queen. It's Eleanor. Which of these stores does not sell weapons? It's Felissimo. And then the final question, we'll just throw it. How much does a charm stone cost? I believe it's 500,000. So the thing about that quiz, okay, so we're talking about regional differences between these games. The endgame in the North American version is incredibly challenging. But in the Japanese version of the game, it's like super easy. It's super simple. We're gonna get the 3rd pygmy set here. So you might be like, okay, well, the end game is so challenging. Why not just play the Japanese version of the game if the end game is a lot fairer? And the answer is you have to you have to do that quiz in Japanese. So the real question is, do you think it is easier to play the endgame as it stands in the North American version of the game, or is it easier to learn Japanese? The answer to that is going to vary from person to person. For me, it is probably neither, honestly. They're probably both equally challenging. So we're going to do this little section here on our way to the next village. We're going to try our very best to not take any damage because we are very, very far away from an inn right now. But our health is looking good with 3 hearts. It's not bad. So we should be okay. Yep, we are good. All right. So we're going to go hang out with some dragons real quick. We're going to come down here. The questions are randomized. There's more than 5 questions that the game can ask you, and the responses are randomized in order. So you need to recognize the text of the question and the answer. So it's incredibly, doubly annoying. There is a tutorial for it on SRC if you are so inclined. However, I do not believe I am smart enough to do it. So, believe it or not, that dragon told us that we need to collect and earn. I'm going the wrong way. So we will go to the next part of the game. It's incredibly tough what's about to come. This is probably like the hardest part of the game, except for the final boss fight. At this point, we're not super worried about money drops. So we're going to come down here, and we're going to make our way to the ice stage of the game. Everybody's favorite thing in a game. You got to have a desert stage. You got to have a ice stage. Oops. So we're just going to go through this little section here with sands. It's not too tough. Get up there. The reason I think that there are not a lot of people who run this game is because the end game is so challenging. It is very disheartening to lose a speed run 50 plus minutes into a speed run. It is just absolutely hard, which is why I do not speed run this game really at all. I moved over to the Master System version of the game, which is way easier. This jump is incredibly annoying, but it's worth it because we need to get the extra Quake magic. Magic fire, and we are set. So we're gonna take this section very, very, very safe. It's very easy to take a lot of damage in here because these penguins are very unpredictable. Good thing is, though, is they do drop hearts pretty consistently. And we're going to also... oh, no heart drops. We're going to stay at the inn in town anyway. You wouldn't normally do this if you're going on a PB run, because you always want to have your inn set to the town square, because so much of the game is routed through the town square. But for safety's sake, because this is truly probably the hardest part of the game, I really, really just want to make it through safely. Yeah, the music in this section is unreal. I agree. Okay, we are... Yeah, that is very uncommon. Okay, I actually had to think for a half a second there. We have died more times than I would care for, honestly. Those penguins were very, very clingy. I was just scared. Look, I had to think whether or not we saved at an inn. Because if we didn't, that would have been did not complete. It's handed back over to tech for the next runner, kind of thing. Dying to penguins does not bode well for when we make it to the real hard stuff in this one. Although I will say, they gave us a very trolly pattern there. Very trolly pattern. Usually they all don't spawn upon one another, and usually if the penguins do spawn fairly close to one another, you're able to see it right away, and you can kind of just lump them together. Redemption? Dude, I don't know. Well, it's a good thing that we have a pretty good estimate on this one. During practice, I was finishing the game a little under the hour 10 mark. That's not going to happen today now, but we shouldn't be too far behind. Hopefully. All right, let's try that again. Hopefully the penguins are a little bit, yeah, like, why did that second one have to come guns a-blazing almost immediately? Like, that's completely uncalled for. Those two are usually pretty easy to group together. Oh yeah, see, like, now the penguins are behaving. They're doing as we expect them to do. Yeah, this is what this should look like. Oops. Yeah, so much cleaner. And last room. And we are out of here. Okay. So we are going to reset our in point. We're going to go in here. This one's a little more expensive. This is a tourist destination or something. The best palace? It's really, really tough. We're also going to not buy the ceramic boots just yet, so we are going to have slightly more ice physics than we normally would with the ceramic boots, although apparently the ceramic boots negate some of the ice physics, but even when I was playing this casually, never really found it to help that much. Okay. There we go, slipping and sliding. Boop. Lots of very tough enemies in here. We're going to strategically use our Quake magic to try to kill as many of them as possible. And then there's some scary jumps in this one that could really make or break us. A lot of Yetis, and they are very mean. Yeah, like right there, not happy that I just got hit twice. The fire magic could not take him out. Oh, give me the heart, thank God. Oh, he jumped. Okay, that's fine. Little low on health, but we will get a health refill coming up. Very scary section coming up. We need to avoid getting hit and then use our Quake magic in the right place to kill the right enemies. One more, yes. Now we need to not fall down into this room anymore. We're going to traverse through here again once more, but we do not want to end up in here accidentally. And there's our last item for the Pygmy set. Oops. Alright. 2 pseudo boss fights coming up. It's basically a bunch of big Yetis. They're not overly difficult. You can get hit early on by them, but usually you can kind of just stun lock them. We'll take the money. And then we need, for this stage, to collect these 2 gems to be able to open up the boss door. Okay, very scary jump coming up. This could make or break the run. Oh. Okay, we did it. We're good. As long as we don't fall back down into this room accidentally from above now, we should be okay. Now this guy is going to drop an elixir when we kill him, and unlike the rest of the game, we can actually use this elixir as intended. Don't have to hold on to it for anything. We can actually use it to save our butt when we find ourselves in trouble. May as well set our magic here as well for the boss fight. Gotta climb up above now and set the gems that we've picked up into their respected holes. Trying to fight the ice physics and the momentum, all of it here. And we didn't fall down, we're good. All right, I think this is probably like visually my favorite boss fight coming up. However, very tough. Left side of the screen is completely glitched in this boss fight, by the way. So we're gonna try to not touch it. Nope, we touching the screen. The screen just sucks you in. Need to get back up. We're gonna end up using that elixir too. Yeah, I was like one hit away from death forever. Using that elixir is okay. We're gonna get another one. All right. Back to town. We finally have enough money for the ceramic boots. We're gonna buy those. We're gonna buy a holy water, which is gonna actually do slightly more healing than a potion would. Ceramic boots. And we are gonna head back to town. Yeah, the graphics are beautiful in this one. They really, really, really are. Oops. Boots. We're gonna come in here. We're gonna set our inn over here. In like 2 seconds, we're gonna be no longer underpowered. And we're finally gonna be caught back up because we're finally gonna get to make use of our pygmy items. We're gonna come in here. If you didn't have all 4 pygmy armor set items, this door will be locked. You come in here, and then this may seem very familiar if you just watched Dragon's Trap. We are a baby. And we are officially no longer underpowered, and we are cruising. So this section can be a little annoying. We're gonna pick up an extra power magic right there. So what we have to do in this stage is just hit these switches. You came back? I thought I killed you twice. That's fine. Because we're not underpowered anymore, we're not really taking a whole lot of damage whenever we get hit, which is great. We will keep an eye on our health simply because we don't have that elixir anymore, so we might want to just use the holy water. Actually, we'll hold on to it just in case. We are going to get a heart container very soon. Some of these enemies can be a little trolly. It's also a little bit challenging. You get so used to playing this game at normal size with a normal range, and then you come in here, and then your hit range on your sword is like more than in half. So it takes a little bit of adjusting. It really does. Make our way through here. We're going to hit the switch, and then hidden below, you would never think to do this. You can get another heart container. Okay, looking at my health there. Keeping a close eye on that, as long as this sneak doesn't roll too badly. You know what, it's not worth the risk, just use that. And we're gonna get an elixir in this room anyway. If we didn't have an elixir, it would have given us a full health refill. Screw you. We'll get out of here, fire snake. Sorry, elixir. Coming up onto a boss fight. It's Booster's favorite boss. Magic. Let's go. It's the Tyrant Dragon. Mac, come down here, brother. What are we doing? Why is he acting all weird? Yeah, he was just not wanting to attack at all, apparently. Okay, we are out of there. We've got everything we need now to make it to the end game. We didn't check in with the dragons over here, but we needed an urn and all kinds of stuff to be able to make a legendary sword. We're going to give it to him. He's going to make it for us, but we got to check in with the Elder Dragon first. The Elder Dragon's going to say the time is upon us. We need to save the world. Come back, be victorious, etc. and etc. Come in, and it's finished. So just gonna get ready for endgame here. I'm gonna sleep at the inn and save here. Just in case after we beat the first part of the last part of the game, if we need to come back here to buy an elixir or anything like that, it's a little bit faster. The only thing we're going to pick up at this point is we're going to get a high potion. Oops. We are going to a GTFO. Yo, SegaCrew, thanks for the raid. Welcome on in, Raiders. Our misery is nearly over here. We unfortunately have to do the long stair climb once again. Get in there. We're not even gonna talk to the princess or the queen. We're just gonna get the work. Come over here and grab yet another heart container, and then maybe if you hadn't found all the heart containers in the game, you'll realize that they stack. Because I didn't realize that the heart containers actually stack, and that there's so many more in the game that I just hadn't realized. Here we go, probably the best song in the game. Hoping for a full health drop. They did not give me one. That's fine. Good. We want to nail all those jumps there because those guys do a lot of damage. Okie doke. There is a full health refill coming up very shortly, so we're not too worried about health. A bit of a tough jump coming, but we got it. Perfect. Switching in and out of our ladder boots. Over here, full health refill, so we can breathe easy for just a little bit longer. We're going to start picking up the best items in the game, the legendary armor set. We skipped the boots, because it takes too long to get the boots, and it doesn't really impact your speed that much. We're going to not forget to equip it now that we have it all. I did that in practice earlier this week and realized only after the boss fight for this dungeon literally cooked me in like 2 seconds. We didn't have our good armor on. See, the knights have decided that they wish to be a pain in my butt. Fine. Sometimes this guy can drop a full health refill. I'm kind of hoping for it. We're going to get the money instead. That's fine. very annoying jumping platforming section here. I don't know how the devs wanted us to do that. Oh, we didn't even get the jump, so we gotta do this fight again. Another chance for a full health refill. You gotta jump into your marine boots to make those jumps because your jump height is actually slightly higher on the marine boots as opposed to the ceramic boots. Got it. Okay, so we're going to get our magic ready power and our safety should we need it. Here it is, the almighty Demon King. 3 phases for this fight. Ooh, very good fight. Holy, that can go very wrong and very trolly. Wow. That's great. We didn't have to use any of our healing items, so we technically didn't even need to set our return point back to the Dragon Town. We could have actually just done it where it was meant to be. Gotta wait for our power spell to deactivate so we can get back into our magic. And we'll return back to the inn. So if that was the end of the game, you'd be like, yo, that's pretty hard, but it's fair. No. You'd be happy if that was the final boss. Unfortunately, there's a little bit more BS we gotta do. So just double check. We've got Elixir. We've got everything that we need. Good. Switch back into our ceramic boots now. Actually, you know what? In case we run into trouble, we'll save ourselves like an extra minute if we just save here. Because finishing this run, finishing this game is no guarantee. If it goes awry and we die, we probably only have enough time to try it once more. But we'll see, we'll see. So yeah, just come back up here. And as if the story, I haven't really been following along with the story here, but stories are about to take a wacky turn here in Monster World. We're gonna go to space. We are gonna get in a space machine here and GTFO off this planet. Okay, magic. For magic, really the only thing I want to set up right now is just my fire spell. So what's going on here? We're in space. We are going to do boss refights, the previous boss fights. However, because we are so overpowered at this point, they are of no challenge to us. Ladder boots on. At this point, we're not super worried about health because we're actually going to want to go into the boss fight with as little health as possible. So I am intentionally, you know, taking damage. And we'll see why I'm doing that very, very shortly when we get into the final boss fight. Basically, the first part of it is completely scripted. And you're meant to lose all your health, so it's quicker if you just get rid of it now. But there is a very specific amount of health that you can end up with that the scripted part of the boss fight can actually do so much damage to you that it'll activate your elixir that you really don't want that to happen. Okay, Tyrant Dragon being a real tyrant. I'm actually going to pick up a little bit of health because with the Ice King coming up here, I like to have just a little bit more health than I would normally have, just because he can be a little trolly. Trying to pick up health. Okay, that should be fine. Good. Now, for some reason, I've noticed that if you exit this room too quickly, the door will not disappear and you got to do the fight again. So I've waited just a brief moment there. We are good. There is no door. So we're going to make our way to the final boss. Final boss is 3 phases. Like I said, the first phase is scripted. The second phase is not too bad. And then the third phase is the absolute bullshit and the reason why I do not speedrun this game. Hit. That should be good. Use our trusty ladder boots one final time. Boots, get our magic ready. So we need thunder and power. Alright, let's go. So I'm going to intentionally take damage here to start, and that's going to trigger this cutscene. This guy's going to come in, tell us that we suck. He's going to do that for us, and then he's going to get out of here. Time was coming up on final hit. Either I say time or I die. Either one of the two is going to happen. And I think it might actually be us dying. I think that's actually what's going to happen. Yep, I'm trying to activate my power and it will not activate. We are not going to finish this run today, guys. I apologize. We have got 0 hits on the boss fight. Yeah, we have been put in the corner. Yeah, we're dead. You can stop the timer. That is why you don't speedrun this game. The Japanese version doesn't have any of this. You have a boss that's in front of you that you just slash. Something I didn't mention for this game is to activate your magic, you either have to press left or right and then the A button, and sometimes it just doesn't work. and I'm just there slapping right and A, and nothing happens. Brutal. That should give you a pretty good taste of the game, though. You saw like 99% of it. And now up next, Patak is going to show us all why we should speedrun the Master System version of this game instead, because there's a lot less BS. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. I appreciate all of the support and chat, and I'll see y'all later.